Took nearly 5 decades, but they brought home a win. And again, this is a live picture from 20th and Market. You can see the celebrations unfolding in the Lodo neighborhood of Denver right now. This is where it always seems to happen. We gathered like this about a year ago when the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, and fans gathered in a very similar fashion at this very same intersection. Although I'll tell you, this crowd seems a little bit bigger.
NBA family, what's going on? So, first and foremost, gotta give a big congratulations to the Denver Nuggets for officially becoming the 2023 NBA champions. It's well-deserved. Jokic, well-deserved Finals MVP. He played great. They played a great season all year. They balled out, held down the top spot in the West damn near the whole year. I don't remember them ever not being at the top all year, so congratulations to them. Led in a bunch of categories and shit. Played great at home. They played how the game was supposed to be played. And I got to give a big shout out to the Miami Heat as well, because, you know, nobody expected the Miami Heat to make it that far. I mean, these guys barely made it into the play-in game. They barely made it out of that. And to sneak their way all the way into the finals, man, is well-deserved. And, you know, much respect to Miami. Sitting back and looking at how both of these teams made it to the NBA Finals in the first place is why I want to do this video. Because I think there might be a new precedent set with how these two teams were able to gain success and go as far as they were. Now, I know there's a bunch of teams that rely on the power of superstars to not only carry teams on their back, but also put asses in the seats. You know, this is a business at the end of the day. But if there's anything to be learned from this NBA Finals in particular, is being a superstar might be great. Having a superstar might be great. Having a group of guys who are willing to put the team's well-being before their own is priceless within itself. And that should go without saying, because obviously basketball is a team sport, but sometimes I feel like guys in the league forget about that. Like, for example, I'm a Celtics fan. I'm a Celtics fan and a Knicks fan, which is ironic because they both lost to the same team the same exact way. Both teams started playing hero ball. They stopped believing in each other. They swung the ball and they're like, he ain't got it. I got this. And it just became just a shit show so quickly, you know? 1 second they're up. Next thing you know, Miami was so good at keeping their heads together. And I think it's easier for them to be able to put their egos aside because nobody in there is really a superstar, you know? A lot of those guys are role players who, I know they always bring up a lot of these guys are undrafted. When you're undrafted, you take more advantage of the opportunity that you're given. You don't feel entitled to the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, these superstars come into the league and they just expect, roll out the red carpet for me, big contracts, sneaker endorsements, blah, blah, blah. When you're one of these guys like a Gabe Vincent or Caleb Martin or somebody of that esque who doesn't really have a big name for himself coming into the league, those guys usually work harder because they have a lot more to prove than a superstar who everybody is going to expect to come into the league and just dominate. These guys who play their roles and are willing to put the team's well-being over their own, these guys deserve reward. Like, it showed. Look at Miami's success. Those guys, from what the data says, from what analytics and everything, even what their record was all year, you would not think these guys would be able to put their pride aside and do what has to be done to get to the finals. And look at what they just did. They snuck in as an 8 seed and damn near, I'm not going to say damn near won, but they didn't get their ass whooped in this series. You know, they never really got blown out in a game. They were pretty close games. You know, they fought hard and they play basketball how it's supposed to be played. Swinging that fucking ball around until a good shot presents itself. Set picks, find mismatches. They played great. And I got to give Miami credit for that, even though I was really mad at them because I'm a Celtics fan. I did not want to see them prosper, but I respect good basketball. And they play it how it's supposed to be done. And so does Denver. You know, it's no surprise why Denver's been able to gain the success they have this year. It's clearly because they know who their superstar is. They know Jokic is the guy, but they know that he believes in all of them. And that's a beautiful thing. When you got a guy who knows he can get shit done for himself whenever he needs to, it's very easy to rally behind that guy when he bigs up all of his other players. Like, I just watched a podcast. Bill Simmons, founder of The Ringer, and he just had Doc Rivers on his podcast, and he asked Doc Rivers, what does he think Joel Embiid needs to do in order to bring his game to the next level? And his answer was very simple. Not only does he have to be healthy, which is a given because of his prior history, he needs to be able to make players around him better. And that seems, I know what I'm saying is obviously stating the obvious, but if it was as obvious as it is, why don't more teams see success like this? Denver found the formula. You see, you don't need these fucking megastars coming in here with their egos thinking, yo, I got this. No, I got this. No, I got this. Fuck your stats. Fuck your stats. You know, Jokic just happens to be that good. And you know why I love Jokic so much? Because I always love after games, he's always like, I don't give a fuck about stats. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing here, but he's always on some, bro, fuck a stat. I don't care about stats, bro. I'm trying to win. Jokic doesn't give a fuck if Jamal Murray goes off for fucking 50. He don't care. He's like, as long as we got the win, I play good basketball and I made everybody around me better and nobody's walking around with their fucking heads down. We play basketball the right way. The Denver Nuggets flat out deserved to win this championship. And you know, I would have gave it to Miami too. I give them credit because I definitely think that zone defense goes underappreciated. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if next year a gang of teams are playing zone defense. It's a great way to hide if you're a small team. Guys are not getting one-on-one so much, where if you're a bad defender, it won't show as much. You see teams like Atlanta with Trae Young, where he can be a fucking liability on defense, or Dallas where Luka could be a liability on defense. Teams like that have guys that get taken advantage of on one-on-ones, they should implement the zone a lot more. I think Miami definitely cracked something when they beat all these good teams, and obviously the Bucks win was a little bit of a, I would say kind of a fluke, you know. I mean, I'm not going to put it past that they're not great, but Giannis got fucking hurt. Like, it is what it is. But that's the game. I don't put that as a slight against Miami. I give them credit for getting this shit done. They did what had to be done. They took advantage of the opportunity. And they beat everybody else flat out, fair and square. They were the better basketball team. They play better than the Knicks. They play better than the Celtics and the Bucks. And they played great against the Nuggets. Believe in these guys. Believe in the fact that they made it to the league for a reason. I think of Russell Westbrook, for example, who played bad when he was on the Lakers. But the second he goes to the Clippers and he goes to the playoffs, I mean, obviously they didn't win the series, but he showed he still has game. Those guys showed belief in him, and it's obvious he took advantage of the situation. He's like, listen, if y'all show me that I'm appreciated and y'all believe in me more to handle the ball, I can make things happen. Like, I didn't become an MVP for nothing. The Lakers always had him in a corner. They had him playing a style of ball that wasn't his way of playing. I'm not saying that Russell Westbrook isn't guilty of the superstar ball as well. You know, he's definitely guilty of it as well. But, you know, these teams are definitely going to take heed to what happened in these finals. Like, maybe we're putting too much stock into these superstars. Maybe we shouldn't be paying these guys astronomical amounts of money when we should be investing in these other guys who showed, you know, these guys who go under the radar, they want to work hard. They know that their spot is not guaranteed. There's plenty of Gabe Vincences to bring up to that next level. There's plenty of Caleb Martins. There's plenty of like an Aaron Gordon or Bruce Brown. There's plenty of these guys who are ready for the opportunity. All they're waiting for is somebody to give them a chance. You need to put belief into your guys. You know, a lot of these guys get into off-court antics when they're superstars because they know their spot is reserved. When you know that you could be traded at any time, you're going to work hard to keep that spot, you know? I hope teams really did pay attention to these finals and understand it's time to give hard workers a chance. It's time to put team first over superstar. It's time to tell superstars it's not about you. It's about the team. It's time. It's not a surprise why Miami, a fucking 8th seed, went all the way to the finals, you know, of hard work. Playing good defense, believing in each other, swinging the ball around, not giving a fuck who's the main scorer, but always knowing, okay, but worst come to worst, we can rely on Jimmy to get a shot. And Jimmy's great at the baseline. He got a good jumper from mid-range, you know. Jimmy's a smart player. And same thing with the Denver Nuggets, who, you know, congrats to them again for bringing their franchise their first championship. They know We will swing the ball around. We're going to look for the best opportunity we can. But if worst comes to worst, we can swing the ball to Jokic and he can either find his own shot or he can make something happen for somebody else. And I'm not saying this like Jokic isn't a superstar. He is. But at the same time, he's not a superstar in the sense of he wants to be. He's a superstar by skill, not by notoriety or being the man or saying this is my team and this, that, and the third. He's a superstar because his skill is too impressive not to champion. You understand? He was deserving of all of those MVPs, man. And I'm glad that this playoff run, he was able to really show his talent to a whole wide range of audience because he really has been playing great these last couple years. He really has, man. Congrats to them again. And I just hope these teams learn from that, man. I'm expecting a lot of wild trades this summer because of what happened. Because if there's anything I know about the league is the league usually follows whatever model the winners are doing. So the reason that everybody says, teams are shooting a bunch of threes, they're shooting a bunch of threes, it's because the Golden State Warriors, who just happened to draft two of the greatest the greatest three-point shooter in Steph and one of the best in Klay Thompson, they were so good at shooting threes, other teams felt, okay, the only way we're going to be able to compete, these guys are winning using that formula, the only way we're going to be able to compete is we're going to have to mimic their style. And it backfired on a lot of teams and helped a lot of teams. But when you live and die by the three, you know, it's a sad sight to see. I mean, look at the Celtics. Look at the Rockets when they lost to Golden State, specifically when they missed 27 threes at the end of the game and just couldn't finish them out. Or look at even the Warriors. I remember when the Warriors played the Cavaliers in the finals, when the Cavaliers won that year with LeBron. Not only does Kyrie shoot a three in Steph Curry's face, Steph comes down the court, there's still a chance for him to win this game. He has to shoot a three in Kevin Love's face. He ends up missing the shot. And it was a great representation of you live by the three, you die by the three. I'm glad that these two teams specifically, even though Denver's a big three-point shooting team, they always go for good looks. And Miami is also a great three-point shooting team. But they're another team that's just looking for a good look. They're not always looking for threes. Sometimes the three is the best option and they take it. There's just so much to be said about the power of teamwork, man. And this is something that needs to be applied outside of just basketball, man. I mean, off the court, there's plenty of activities that you need to understand. You need to show more belief in your people around you. You need to believe in your friends more. Uplift your friends more. Be willing to tell people, listen, even if you fail, we got you. We'll believe in you. But, you know, don't bullshit your people either. Don't just tell them they're great just because you're their friend. But feel free to give constructive criticism. Show them that you really give a fuck about them becoming great. Know what I'm saying? I think I can wrap it up right there. Congrats to the Denver Nuggets once again, man. Well-deserved championship. I'm really proud of Jokic, especially, man. I'm glad that, you know, us on the East Coast especially, we don't really get to see Denver games. You know, these games come on late at night. Over here, these games are on from like 10:30 to 1 a.m. It's like, who the fuck wants to stay up to watch a game that late when people got work and stuff in the morning? I'm glad he was able to shine. Much props to that whole team. I'm happy for everybody over there, man. I still can't believe DeAndre Jordan got a ring. That's crazy. Not that he contributed crazy or anything, but congrats to the Denver Nuggets, man. I hope a lot of these organizations paid attention to what happened in these finals, man. Congrats to Miami, too. Even though they did take a second loss in the finals under the Jimmy Butler regime, they have nothing to be ashamed of. They were almost not even supposed to make it that far, and they earned it. They worked hard. They got where they were off hard work, teamwork. I'm proud of Miami. And I think I could go on and wrap it up there. Much love to everybody who checked the video out. I will be posting more content. Probably not as much sports because I'm mostly a basketball guy and basketball season is obviously over with this video right here. So much love to everybody. I'll be back.